Grand day to you, chosen divine beings. It's your girl Ocean Messenger here with another message from the waves. Let's go ahead and tap on into the energy and see what's going on in the spiritual streets out there, you guys. Please take the messages as they resonate, for they may not all pertain to you. They could be resonating with some energies that may be around you. So if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Ashe. Hope you guys are having a supreme day, that you're having some gratitude in your attitude. It always helps to acknowledge the Most High, your ancestors, your spirit guides, and angels. And it's a sweet aroma to them when we lift up our appreciation for how they protect us and how they guide us and how they divinely give us that intuitive nudge and nudges that we need. Let's see. I will take what falls out and I will leave the rest. All right, guys. So, first card, and I will say right now that 4 of these cards fell out twice the other day for me. So, we will pick back up where I left off from when I picked them up the other day. So first card, we have the 5 of Swords. Not by the rules. Hostility, defeat, conflict, self-sacrificing, plot twist, abusive. As you can see, he's got flowers in the front of him as if he's coming off with love, and behind him he has the knife ready to stab her in the back when she's not looking. We'll flip these cards when we come back through. Next card, we have the Devil. Strings attached. Things that grip you, the shadow self, materialism, restriction, obsession, addiction, can also represent sexuality or sex. As you can see, he's bent over in a stoop as if he is in a state of grief and resentment and feeling like they shouldn't have done what they were doing, I would say. Hear the sirens in the background. Confirmation. Next, we have the Death card. Clear and purge, transform, emerging metamorphosis, rebirth, regenerate. On the flip side of this card, which will keep it as this, external change, complete renewal, abrupt change, total overhaul, over and out, breakup, new start, let it go, endings, beginnings. Ooh, that one flew out my hand. Trying to escape death. Next card, we have Judgment. Indecisiveness, self-doubt, unwilling to learn karmic lessons, negative self-talk. And we have the 4 of Swords, time for non-action. Isolation, going within, silence, rest, take a break, healing, recalibrate, retreat. On the flip side for this story, we have the 4 Sons, not seeking any action or movement, stagnation, exhaustion, passive, dormant abilities, ghosting, feeling restless, burned out. So we are going to put this here. This here. And put this here. All right. I won't get all perfectionist over here. All right, let's see why this storyline is lining up. And I'm gonna pull from my own creative deck of cards that I've made. And we'll see what comes out. I'll pull 15 of them. First 15 I have, I will take. All right. Okay. All right, let's see how many we have here. Bear with me. That one fell. 15. All right, guys. So we have first card, legacy. Second card, mask. We have internet. We have truck. We have control. Estate. Inheritance. Home. Mom. Reptilian. Informant. Ego. Jail or prison. Cartel. And plots and plans. So for me, guys, and for a lot of you divine beings out there, this story will resonate with you. So let's take a look at what all we got. And I will read it how I see it. So for a lot of you guys out there, divine chosen beings, you are just coming into the finding out of family members, frenemies, co-workers, government officials, even industry stars have come up against you and have made their plots and plans. They ultimately did all of this to have control over you and over your divinity as far as your divine journey. And in doing so, they wanted to take over homes that were left to you, take over, I think it said inheritances. Yep, inheritances that you were a part of. And estates. So we have estates, homes, definitely trying to control your legacy and make it so that you couldn't have one, for sure, for sure. A lot of people were masked. A lot of people also are reptilians out there. And I know it may be hard to believe because, you know, that's your mom, that's your sister, that's your brother, or that's your thought to be divine counterpart. You would think that they could never do such things. However, because they, at the end of the day, were wearing your energy. And while I say that, a lot of people that walked into our lives, they were definitely informants for some of these people from our past, family, frenemies, co-workers, all the way up, you guys. And so they had to put on a whole bunch of masks so that they could continue with their plots and plans, continue to smile in our faces while, like the card at the top, the Five of Swords had the knife behind our backs. And a lot of them wanted to continue their legacies, continue their tainted bloodlines, and they wanted to ultimately wipe out royalty bloodlines, Ashale. And so for that, they, some of them, they actually did involve themselves with the cartel, or they already had previous experience or dwellings with the cartel. And so they were able to basically put a bounty on your head. For me, my last situationship, he had mentioned a lot of things about the cartel being after him and looking for him because he said that he owed them money. And so I'm pretty sure that, you know, when you're involved with cults, covens, gangs, and associations that are of the dark, when you cannot carry out such tactics, they come after you. And as I told that last person from the situationship, you know, I did have a very vivid dream of him being swooped up in a car, and they were doing what they were sent to do to him. And so, you know, that's part of, you know, the death card, I would say, part of the judgment for these devils out here, for you guys out there that are freshly getting out of abusive, toxic relationships. Just know that judgment is here, as it says with the judgment card at the end right there. Those legacies will be fulfilled, they will thrive, and they will continue on, while there will be a death to a lot of these karmics from our past as far as their bloodlines. Their bloodlines are going to be slowly but surely eliminated, unfortunately, but fortunately for us, Asha. What else do we have up there? Okay, we have mom. That's an important subject right there for a lot of you divine collective beings out there. Definitely have mother figures who were ultimately jealous of you at the end of the day, whether it be from the time of your landing here on this planet, or whether it be if you were adopted or placed into group homes or had to live with aunties, mother figures in a whole. And you had to learn how to decipher the many, many masks that they wore. You had to deal with their controlling tactics and plans and plots. For a lot of us, our mother figures, they were the first bullies in our life, and they were also the head of, I would say, the cult, coven, the gang, the dark forces to be. And they hired a lot of these informants and sent them our way to carry out what they needed, or what they thought they were going to carry out. Let's see, what does this card say? 'Cause I can't. Oh, ego. Yeah, that's perfect. A lot of our mother figures definitely had a lot of ego. Because of that ego, they wanted to dominate and try and control us, control our lives, control the people that are in our lives, control our children, take away our children. Just a lot of viciousness behind the scenes. And now all of that is coming to the forefront, or you have already been a little bit further in your journey and you know this to be so. Involving all of this, we have the internet card for a lot of you guys that are here on your platforms. Definitely being stalked, gawked, and mocked at on your platforms. A lot of you may be going through shadow banning, through glitches, your uploads taking forever to upload, or not uploading at all. And so, you know, you have the trolls on the internet that like to be keyboard gangsters and try to continue to stalk you that way. Don't let that get you down, you guys. If they get to one of your platforms, one of your pages, whatever the case may be, just start up a new one. This channel, for me, I already know it's being shadow banned. And so, you know, I don't like to tell many forward movements, but I will say this, that, you know, I will be tapping off of here soon, and you guys can find me here on a different page, because it's ridiculous. I went from having some of my posts have thousands of views, and then the important posts that really need to be put out there, only one view, and the only one view would be me. So I know that a lot of you guys are going through that as well. Don't worry about it. Just do what you have to do. Just continue to move forward. For a lot of these keyboard gangsters, they will definitely be getting locked up. There will definitely be lawsuits filed for all of them. Definitely in the case of my scenario with my last situationship, I have a restraining order on them, and it does clearly say that all third parties are not to basically be stalkers of my pages, of what I have going on, period. And so they will be getting caught up for that, and that's part of the judgment. And a lot of people think that they're sneaky and they're getting away with things, but at the end of the day, we all have IP addresses. And so don't worry about that. For a lot of you divine beings out there, you definitely have secret services out there that are keeping an eye on you, and they're also following the paper trail, the internet trail, and also the blood trail. Unfortunately, a lot of the plots and plans definitely involved death, blood sacrifices, and yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Don't want to go too deep into it. If you know, you know. So what else do we have? Yeah, we did informant, plots and plans, cartel, inheritance, home. Yeah, basically, these cowards from our past that try to come up against us, try to dominate our lives, dominate us in every form of the leads, as I would say, emotionally, physically, financially, monetarily, especially. A lot of you guys didn't even know that you guys had inheritances left to you, homes left to you, estates left to you. And so, we're coming into the finding of that and dealing with those emotions and those feelings. And while we're waiting for judgment to wrap itself up here in court, and however the Most High sees fit in spiritual court, just continue to do your shadow work, you guys. Definitely continue to block out these devils. Definitely continue to keep your back turned against them, but also make sure that you use your front eye, your third eye, to be able to see everything that is going on around you at this time, because they are just fighting to live another day, I would say. And so desperate measures. Okay, so pay attention to that. God has saved us from death, but that doesn't mean that we are not supposed to be responsible as far as paying attention and staying in tune with the people around us and our surroundings, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and we have the truck card. So that one keeps coming up a lot for me as well. Pay attention to trucks right now. The vans, definitely the vans, especially if you park by them. Be aware, maybe park somewhere else. Most definitely park somewhere else. So all it takes for them to do is open up that sliding door and snatch yourself up in there, and it's a wrap. So, these people are definitely, the informants are definitely keeping their eye on you. So they may be driving around in trucks. Dodge trucks are significant. Just trucks of any form. So pay attention to that, because a lot of truck drivers out there, especially the semi-truck drivers, we know very well what some of the evil ones do and what they hold inside those cargo storages. So, and there's also a lot of, kidnappings going on right now. Amber alerts. There's an Amber alert yesterday here, a 4-year-old, you guys. So just definitely keep your head on a swivel. Know that a lot of people out here, they do carry a lot of masks, and they may come off to be God-fearing and loving and nurturing. But at the end of the day, they're basically just reptilian, slithering snakes and lizards out there trying to eat up God's precious eggs, I would say. So pay attention to your babies and pay attention to your surroundings. And just know that, your legacy is going to continue to move forward. And, not everything is about money. I'm definitely glad in my situation that I didn't know anything about any money, any estates, anything like that, because along the way of my journey, it made me not be vindictive. It didn't make me selfish. It didn't make me seek materialism in this world, and it built character within me. And so for a lot of you divine beings out there, you had the opportunity, while at the same time not knowing of any of these inheritances, you had the opportunity to grow in the right way, in the righteous way. And now when you do get your inheritances, you will not be all snooty and have your nose up in the air, and you will take those funds and those properties and you will manifest even more with it and be able to go out there and help others. Because at the end of the day, it is about you, and you're supposed to love yourself. But at the end of the day, we're supposed to be world changers and game changers and generational curse breakers, Ashe, so that we don't have to end up like these karmics from our past. And for a lot of you adoptive ones out there, or for the ones in your families that you feel you have been outcasted and you are the black sheep, and that's okay. I'll just say that it is okay for that to be that black sheep, to be different, to stand out, and to not be like anybody from your families, from your frenemies. It is okay to not follow the crowd, because not following the crowd is definitely going to save you from your ultimate death, Ashe. So let's go ahead and flip these cards back in the upright. So for us, on the flip side of judgment, heeding the call. And that's exactly what a lot of us are doing, taking what we've been through and helping others to fulfill their new spiritual stories, Ashe. We are going with the ebb and flow of forgiveness. And just because we forgive absolutely does not mean that we are taking these karmics back into our life so that they can try to tear it down once again or ultimately end it. Definitely staying in our awakening, evaluating everything, especially evaluating ourselves, Ashe, because when we evaluate ourselves and we see our shadow sides, we are able to have a forward movement with a good judgment of karma, Ashe. We're continuing our mission. We are in our rebirth, rising. We are continuing our action, staying firm in our decisions, especially when it comes to allowing people back in our lives. And we are having a renewal. As you see, I love this card because it's talking about the shadow side and the inner side. You can see her grown adult angelic self, and you can see her younger angelic self and how she's holding her younger self's hand. A lot of us are guiding ourselves correct. Ooh, Archangel Michael. You already know what to do. Thank you. Stumbling up my words today. That's okay. It's been a couple days, so I'm sure, the karmics from my past are just enraged that I'm back on here. Every time they see me come on here, they just want to throw a little bit of their hoobly. So that's fine with me. But anyway, yeah, she's holding her younger self's hand and guiding her younger self along and letting her younger self know that everything's going to be okay and that she's there for herself, Ashe. And that's exactly how you guys need to be. Next card. For the flip side of this card, the Five of Swords, shifting energy. And as you see, he has a surprise of flowers for her and not a surprise of trying to unalive her, Sheo. So shifting the energy, variety, change it up, adapt, conquer self-doubt, embrace change, do it differently, make amends, unexpected surprises. And that's exactly what's going on for Divine Tribe right now. Definitely have a lot of surprises coming in from the Most High. And I definitely know that, we do have some amends to make, I would say, in some cases. And I would say it would definitely be to yourself, you guys, to make amends with yourself, to forgive yourself and apologize to yourself for allowing people that didn't have any value or meaning to be in your life, for staying too long, for not seeing the potential in yourself. It's definitely time for a change up for you new ones out there that are coming up out of the darkness, to change it up and to continue to learn how to adapt and to conquer that self-doubt, guys. Continue to embrace changes, you know, continue to go with the ebb and flow and continue to glow. Not everything is going to be on the up and up all of the time, but just continue to stay in that positive attitude and the knowing that the Most High has everything worked out for you guys. And also allow the embrace of change in mindset. And I know it's hard to kind of get over the thoughts and feelings of what people have done from your past. But at the end of the day, you just have to accept it for what it is. And you have to know that you see people clearly for who they truly are, Ashel. So allow yourself to just embrace that and embrace the changes of you might having to do things on your own. And that is okay. Learn how to do things differently. You don't have to do things the same way that everybody else does, you guys. Ashel. All right. Leave that at that. For the devil card, we really don't have a flip side because the devil is the devil. Unhealthy patterns, physical or emotional abuse, negative karmic connections, toxic energetic implants, codependency. Yeah, so that codependency part, you know, when you're around other people, you know, what does the saying say? Bad company corrupts good character. And so you have to pay attention to who you kick it with. Basically, I had told a certain somebody that so many times before I left that they needed to get away from certain people, and they did not want to listen because of pride, lust, ego, and greed. And so right now, that's exactly how they're looking right now. Also, while you are going through your healing, don't allow unhealthy patterns to rise up in you. For those of you that have lost everything, it is so easy to want to go and pick up that drink, or to go and use those Uggs, or to go and invest in other unhealthy habits, especially sexually. Don't give your energy to any of these things because they will definitely siphon you. That's part of the devil. The devil entails toxic habits in all forms. So pay attention to that, and definitely don't emotionally abuse yourself while you're going through emotions. Give yourself healthy talk at this time, affirmations, and encourage yourself at this time, you guys. Don't stay in any kind of negative thought because that is a negative, unhealthy pattern as well. Keep speaking life and not death. Next card. Time for non-action, isolation, going within, silence, rest, take a break, healing, recalibrate, retreat. Definitely after coming out of those toxic, vicious cycles, you definitely have to isolate yourself and go within yourself so that you can see what's going on around you. It's definitely good to have that silence so that you can hear clearly. Take time to rest so that your body can restore, your mental clarity can come back. If you're going too hard on something or you're doing something in excessiveness, take a break. I always have to find myself doing that. As much as I want to go hard sometimes, I know that it is beneficial for me to take a break. A lot of these karmic energies out here, just because we have gotten away from them and we have broken the change and gotten out of bondage, at the end of the day, just because we're not around them, they still want to bring that mental grief to us and would love for us to not to be able to take a break. You know, I always hear in the background my mother figure. You know, when I was little, I wasn't really allowed to take a break. I always had to be doing something on my feet, cleaning something, being busy. And sometimes I find myself to be doing that still to this day because I am still trying to get her negative Nancy voice out of the back of my head as far as you need to do this, you need to do that, blah, 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 blah. And I am working on hardcore not hearing her voice anymore and tuning into my voice. Cleaning when I need to clean, setting a schedule how I would like my schedule, taking a break when I need to take a break. If I'm not on here for a couple of days, it's because I'm taking a break. And so just whatever your task may be, just know that there is a balance of things, an ebb and flow of things. So make sure that you're recalibrating so that those gears can shift smoothly, you guys. And also continue to retreat from these karmics from your past. Keep going. Shell. the guy in that picture, he's taking a break in stone, so he's gonna be set there for a while. I shall. Let's see. And then for the death card on the positive side for us, yes, internal change. We are clearing and purging, continuing to transform out of our cocoons into the beautiful butterflies that we are. Definitely emerging from the depths of the waters that tried to drown us, having a metamorphosis, yes, rebirth, regenerating, definitely. Because at the end of the day, guys, a lot of these toxic karmic entities, informants, and so on and so forth, the ultimate goal for us at the end of the day was our ultimate death. And because they were not able to take us out, we are able to take that depleted battery that they wanted us to have and being able to put it on supercharge with the Most High. Ooh, confirmation hiccups. And being able to regenerate. I shall. Excuse me. All right. We have those cards. Let's have a little bit of fun and see what these karmics would like to tell us. So maybe we can have a better understanding. All right, you guys, I'm going to take the first 15. Let's see what they're yapping about. Or maybe how you feel, because, you know, ebb and flow, yin and yang. So it could resonate with you. They would like to say, I don't want to be contacted right now. I wish to be left alone. And it's not that they don't want to be contacted. It's that really nobody wants to be around them right now. Or you don't want to be contacted because you don't want to be around anybody right now. And I do not blame you. Some of y'all wish to be left alone, and some of them would like to be left alone. And that is just fine with us, because we don't really have any longing to connect ourselves with them anyway. So and it's correct. I don't feel guilty for how I treated you. My ego is too big to care. And yeah, those egos. And that was the card on there as well. A lot of people had super big egos and thought that they were bigger than the program. And so they really don't feel guilty for how they treated us. They just feel guilty that they couldn't get away with it and that they couldn't prevail with their plans. Next card. This connection bores me to death. I need something more exciting. So this could go both ways. A lot of karmic relationships fell apart because boredom did ensue into the relationship. For a lot of you guys out there, it's just a mismatch. There was no there wasn't mutuality within the duality, I would say. And so a lot of y'all's relationships fell apart, and a lot of y'all got bored with the relationship and are ready for something more exciting and a companionship that matches with your ebb and flow. And so, yeah, you can go both ways. I feel alone in the dark. Where is my light? I'll go with that devil card. We were the light, and they didn't want to see that. They didn't want us to light up their lives. And so now they're still stuck in the dark, and that's just on them. For a lot of us, we tried. I have karmic debts that I need to be paid before I can come back to you. And for a lot of these past relationships, they have so much debt that they cannot come back to us. And so I'm just fine with that as well. They had their chance to get it right. A lot of us came into their lives to help them turn their lives around, and they didn't want to seek the light. And so we will not be coming back to them, and they cannot come back to us. There are feelings of anger inside me that I need to release before I explode. For you divine beings out there, you guys are holding on to anger and resentment, definitely let those things go. Do not become bitter like these karmics. Make yourself better. Bitter, not better. I'm sorry, better, not bitter. Definitely time to release those emotions before you might trigger your own self. or allow them to trigger you and you do explode. And while I say that on that, make sure that you keep yourself in check so that you do not explode, because one of the plots and plans and tactics is for a lot of us to be locked up so that we can not have what was meant for us. Okay, so make sure you balance your emotions out. And for the karmic side, they definitely have a lot of explosive anger going on at this time, so much so that they're having the attitude, if I can't have you, or if I can't have what's yours, then nobody can have it. And so they are definitely in a mental anguish and definitely might be wanting to take that anguish out on you. So pay attention out there, you guys. I feel empty and hollow inside, and I can't open up right now. I know that you may not feel for me as I feel for you, and that is very true for a lot of us. For me, I'm, I guess, elevating more and more and more to the point where I can't even see them anymore, hear them anymore, or remember them really anymore. I remember the things that have been done, but as a person, they're very quickly fading away, Michelle, and you guys may be feeling that as well. I was afraid that you would reject me if I shared my feelings to you. Well, that's part of the transformation, being able to open up, being able to communicate your feelings, your wants, your desires, and also being able to communicate who you are at the end of the day, Karmicville. You know, a lot of Karmicville, like it said with the masks and the reptilians, they definitely put on a good front and definitely tried to walk in many people's skin. Embracing other people's energy, and because of that, at the end of the day, they ultimately rejected themselves. I tried to run from this connection, but my soul craves you. You know, it's really sad. A lot of people hate us for no reason. They can't form a conclusion to why they even hate us. A lot of people have trained their own minds to hate us so that they could carry out their plots and plans. I know for a lot of those hitmen out there, they definitely had to portray like they did not like us, when at the end of the day, a lot of them loved our aura and our light, but they couldn't portray that because of the involvement they were in and with the groups and clusters that they were involved with. And so they had to wear those masks. I cannot support your actions. It's too much for me to deal with. And that's exactly how a lot of us feel, putting up those boundaries. People did way too much, and now we don't want to have any dealings with them. I am distracting myself to avoid thinking of you. This can go both ways. A lot of y'all might be out there distracting yourself, maybe not distracting yourself, but living your lives out every day and moving forward with the intentions of what you want to do, what you want to pursue, and what you want to focus on. And those divine distractions are allowing you not to think about those karmics from your past. On the flip side, a lot of these karmics are definitely pursuing toxic traits, as one of the cards said, and definitely ugging it up and pouring it up and being sexual deviants at this time, instead of tuning into themselves and thinking about themselves. They're avoiding themselves at the end of the day. I feel cold and detached from this connection. I can't feel emotions right now. That's how a lot of us are feeling. And a lot of them were detached a long time ago. So they really didn't have any emotions, I would say. They don't know how to decipher the emotions of their own self. And so it caused a lot of chaotic emotions around them, I would say. And right now, they're definitely left out in the cold and having to learn how to reconnect with themselves and detach from the connections with us. It's time for those cord cuttings, guys. Continue to cut those cords, whether it's in your dream state or in physical. I cannot be vulnerable with you. I'd rather hide in the darkness before I let you see inside of me. And that's what a lot of people from our past did. They didn't want to open up and be their authentic selves. And on the flip side, a lot of us had to close ourselves up and become a little bit on the darker side so that people wouldn't be able to take what's on the inside of us, and so that we could be able to focus on seeing what's on the inside of ourselves. So, and now because of that, we are in the light, and I love that for us. It's okay to be vulnerable with you, and it is okay to be vulnerable with others, you guys. I wouldn't say not with everybody, but for those that are meant for you, yes. And last, I am keeping secrets from you, and I hope you don't find out. That's exactly the mind state of a lot of karmics from our past, whether they be family, frenemies, co-workers, these higher up industries. They definitely don't want us to know the plots, all of the plots and plans that they had for us, all the secret meetings that they held, all the group chats, all of it. They don't want us to know every single detail, but nevertheless, we're gonna find out, because you cannot hide anything from the Most High, from Ra. And so everything's in the light now. Unfortunately for them, it is judgment time, and that judgment is going to come in many forms and fashions for them, however the Most High sees fit, and however the archangels want to carry out and finish up the war. I shall. So I'm going to clear all of these, and I'm going to go ahead and ask ourselves some questions for the day, for ourselves, or things that we can maybe tune in as far as the questions we have for others. Come on. All right, first card, reflection. Between worlds. This is about transition. I'm no longer there, but not quite here yet. It's not wrong. It's simply a process. Uncomfortable, but honest. A card about trusting the in-between moment. So yeah, definitely, looking back on your past and staying in tune with what you see for your future. And then realizing where you are right now in the current. Transitioning is hard, you guys. It's not easy. It's hard work, and it's just hard work. So questions we can ask are, where am I now between no longer and not yet? And can I stay with it without rushing or forcing? Next card, desire lives in me. I feel life on my skin. Inner signals, a conscious or intuitive slowing down. Confirmation, rhythm, attention, and subtle sensing. Questions, what does my dance with life through touch look like? When do I feel the world touching me? And what tactical moments awaken my sensitivity? For that card, I will definitely say it's more important for those spiritual nudges and touches than the physical at this time, you guys, especially when you're doing that inner work and inner healing and shadow work. Learn how to tune in with your environment, with nature. Seeing those birds flying in the air by 2s and 3s, or maybe in a cluster of 5. They represent and symbolize the currency and ebb flow that you're in. I forgive myself. It's just like the judgment card, her older self and acknowledging her younger self. Memory. This card is about the power of memories and how they shape us, about noticing the little things that live in memory and become part of us. What in my past has changed me? Definitely for a lot of us, our childhood definitely changed us. And what do I want to carry with me and what to let go of? Definitely. Those things from childhood, those people that were in your childlike state, definitely don't continue to carry on those toxic traits that they may possess, such as control issues, obsession, just vengeful little ways that they had. Don't carry those with you, you guys, but also take and learn a lesson from it as to how you do not want to be like those individuals from your past. I shall. Next card. I am real. Talking about those masks. Chaos is sacred, a card about mess as potential. A lot of us had messy lives from our past lives, and we are learning how to know that it is sacred, how it has made us at the end of the day. Sometimes chaos isn't a mistake, it's a phase. It doesn't have to feel easy, but it's alive. It's the wild stage of growth. And that's something that a lot of, especially for the mother figures, for the mom card, you know, our mother figures, they're not perfect. And there's things that they did in their life that they shouldn't have done, people they surrounded themselves with that they shouldn't have. And they have the goal and the nerve to try and chastise us and put us down for our own growth. A lot of things that we did from our past, they still want to drudge up and make the story seem as if it was yesterday's news or today's news. And for a lot of us, those things happened decades ago, and we were still in our learning state. And clearly, they didn't learn from anything in any of the stages of their growth and in their life. And so, yeah, they're having a chaotic life right now. That's what happens when you're a charlatan, when you try to put your finger and your foot on somebody and try to make them seem as if they are not a child of God. Ashale. So right now, yeah, they're having a lot of chaos, those mother figures out there, and or father figures, we'll just say parental figures in general right now, who try to cause, ultimately at the end of the day, our demise, the ending of our lives, the ending of ourselves. I shall. So questions: what in my life feels chaotic but might still be forming? Pay attention to the I would say characteristics of those parentals from your past, and do not pass those on to your children. It's time to end a lot of these cycles so that they can't form anymore. And second question, where am I trying to control? What simply needs to be lived through? A lot of us are having to face what we have been through, having to look at how we were brought up, having to look at the things after we moved out of the house that we picked up and we placed onto other people, and having to learn how to simply live through what we've been through and carry on in such a way as to not possess those tendencies from people from our past, not just parental figures, but just people in general. So what I didn't say. It's about holding back from fear of being too much. Asheo for you divine chosen beings out there that did endure domineering parentals, having those fears of being seen, of them thinking that you're too much, for them misunderstanding you, or for them being uncomfortable about who you truly are and what your destiny is at the end of the day. It's about the words left unspoken that still carry weight. I know for me, I have a lot of words that I didn't get to say to many people, but specifically that mother figure of my past. And that's okay. I write it down and I release it, or I pray about it and release it. Questions that we can ask: when do I hold back my words and why? Yeah, for me, I was always meant to be silent and to not have any emotions as far as what was going on in my own personal life or by the things that people were doing to me. I was supposed to just hold all that in and suck up the tears, and no, it's those days are over with. Ashael. So question yourself: when do you hold back your words and why? And what truth do I still not allow myself to say? Speak your truth, you guys. This is the time. The time is now for you to stand up for yourself, to continue in your forward movement as far as saying what you want to say, basically. You know, when I get on here, sometimes I feel like there's things that I shouldn't say, but at the end of the day, you know, the Most High has put me in this position to be a true speaker for a reason. And it is time for all those years that I encountered of having to be silent, of having to take abuses, of having to just put up with it and get over it. It is time for me and also for a lot of y'all to go ahead and speak the words that you never got to say, especially when it goes back to childhood. Asheo. So we'll leave that there with that. I know my message is all over the place, you guys, but, you know, nevertheless, the truth always comes out because there's truth in the cards. It's just like on The Princess and the Frog, when he's like, the cards will tell. And it's so true. Take the first 5. We have, you are so much closer to a powerful breakthrough than you may realize. You have been praying for things to heal, especially within yourself. Doesn't mean healing past relationships that are abusive, toxic, none of that. It's the healing of yourself so that you can have new opportunities to appear, for relationships to improve that will be coming to you here in the future, that will be healthy and positive and productive. And these prayers will be answered soon. I shall. Next. You are not moving too slowly. Drop the self-induced pressure. You are at the sweet spot between taking care of yourself and still making advancements on your goals. On this path, there is no such thing as being behind. Smile, breathe, carry on. Asheo. You know, a lot of us divine beings, we didn't go to college. You may not have graduated high school. You may not have did this, that, and the other when it comes to how your familiar units wanted you to move. So just know that you didn't miss out on anything. Everything is divinely aligned and in divine timing for you. A lot of us were able to go on the slower path of things. A lot of us are late bloomers. And so we were able to take our journeys and be able to go smell the roses and to just take life a little bit more, I guess, slowly, as they would say in Karmicville on their side for us. But really, we're in divine timing, and everything that is meant to be will be, you guys. Just because you didn't get married first, just because you didn't get that white collar job like everybody else in the family, just because you weren't a lawyer, a judge, or any of that, you know, it was meant to be that way at the end of the day. Because a lot of your family members that are in these thought to be higher up positions, they just became corrupt at the end of the day, became greedy, and we can see the evidence of that today. So just keep moving at your own pace. Ashe. In whatever you're doing. Whatever you have been putting off, don't procrastinate any longer. Tackle that long overdue project. You will feel better once you begin. Start with one thing at a time. Thoughts and ideas not acted upon are just lying in wait. You can do this. So yeah, for a lot of y'all, time maybe to stop procrastinating on speaking up for yourselves and taking a stand for injustices, not only in your world, but in the world. Ashe? So make those little tiny steps and see how you can make forward movements in those endeavors. Find ways to fill your cup. Be selfful. I like that. Selfful. And it's okay to be selfish. Follow your heart and always trust your intuition. Go deep within. Find your triggers. Very, very, very important. And address them one by one. Self-healing is the best healing. Only then can you offer the best version of yourself. Yes, you have to heal yourself first so that you can become the best version of yourself, so that other versions out there can come and gravitate towards you, and you can be in duality with the versions of yourself, I would say. Definitely find those triggers though, you guys, so that when you do go into future relationships here soon, it won't cause dismay in the relationships. I shall. Last for this, don't allow negative emotions to fester. True. Get those feelings out. Even if you don't want to say it to that person, at least write it down. And you can take it and let it go and release it into the air, release it into the water, or whatever you see fit to do. If you are feeling frustrated, angry, or hurt, for example, just acknowledge that, and definitely acknowledge what people have done from your past, because, you know, at the end of the day, those are your emotions, those are your feelings, and they did what they did to you, and so you have to face that and acknowledge it. Instead of fighting your feelings, go with them and work with them. Then true healing can really begin. You have to go within the inner self so that you can do that shadow work, so that you can see the brightness and shininess of yourself, you guys. So, alrighty then. Go ahead and pull 5 numbers. You guys can scramble them up however you see fit. Funny. All right. Well, we have the Sun Baby one, because you are the one, and you are with one with the Most High. Next card. That one. Okay. Just a second, guys.